new day, new opportunities. So we've got, I think, a solution to get us around this bind that we're in with this chain. Old chain's over here. It's seen better days. When I say old, I mean actually very new chain, just completely totaled. We decided we don't want to put the new one that we have that's the same as that one, because if that one failed under 100 hours, why wouldn't the other one fail in 100 hours? It's probably gonna do the same thing. So we're just not gonna put that in. But what we do have is this. This is an old chain from a friend of ours, Welker Farms. They've got a YouTube channel. You should check them out. They have some pretty awesome equipment. Farm in a beautiful area. So they're about an hour from us. So we drove and got this from them. It's been sitting in their floor for a long time. But that is a chain built back in the day when chains lasted. And it is a used chain, but it's not nearly as wore out as the used chain that we have. So we're gonna clean that chain up really good. Really good. And we're gonna check it out, see how it looks compared to the other used chain we have. And if it looks better, we're gonna put this one in to get through the rest of the season. We'll change the oil within the first day, run it, change oil, put new oil in, and if it holds up, we'll check on it along, get us through the season. And then I think we've got some options to upgrade to a better chain after the season. It's fishing. All right, so here's our new chain. That's never been used.
Oh, I think what we did is we...
Skid steer? Is that what we did to look at that out there?
No, I think I need to grab a bar.
That's the HV824 Cross Morse. Looks bigger when it's round up like this. Don't drop on your feet. All right, so what you're really trying to get is that one.
I'm going to tip the bucket.
Yeah, that's fine. A bunch of oil in there. Well
It's
enough.
going to make a little bit of a mess. Nope, the bucket is dry.
Is there 2 buckets on top? Oh, we put 2 buckets.
Well, because it broke the bottom.
That's right.
There's another ring. Now this one's got quite a bit of wear marks on it.
Oh yeah, look at that. So what we want to do is we want to take the old chain and lay it against the old new chain to us and see which one looks more wore.
No, you had it right. Wear.
More wear. I'm good at leering.
No, you're not.
What we need is a dual chain this tractor. They're about the same. Like identical. I'd say they're identical. I think this chain has more wear on it. This chain. Well, no, it's probably just shinier because of rust. Where it's been rubbing.
We'll make a decision. We'll flip out the new chain and think about it too. What a deal.
Well, this is the chain we got today. I already found a broken pin in it. So the other half's in there somewhere. So that's not a good sign. This one obviously has got more rust on it than that one, but this one had a broken pin too. And it looks, I mean, honestly, these chains look about the exact same wear. They're both, I would say, probably wore out. They're probably wore out chains. So the dilemma is a wore out chain better than a new chain that's probably going to wear out really fast? I don't know. What a mess. This is not easy. I mean, we're always going to have to look at them a lot and check on them. Just really, every day, pull the cover and take a look inside and see what it looks like. That's the only way we can do this.
All right, Nick and I were just starting to discuss this on our options, and I said, hold on, let's get you guys so you can watch our decision making.
Stay quiet while we're talking.
Yeah,
please.
you guys be quiet. We got to think about this.
It's really important, so I don't want you talking.
My concern, Nick, is if we put... I don't feel comfortable putting that chain in because we already have a broken pin, which means that there's probably other ones that are going to break too, and they're the same wear. That one's got a broken pin as well. And we just got to make it through seeding season. I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable putting these two in.
The thing is, we're probably not going to use this chain in anything else.
No.
Even though it's not up to snuff for what we need. We did have a whole season of running a grain cart with that tractor. Like, I figured we're about 70, 80 hours on that chain that disintegrated.
Right.
We probably need to go another 40 hours this year. So theoretically, it should be through the rest of the season. It might be totaled by the end of time, but as long as we keep tabs on it, don't let it grate. If it looks like it's about to come apart, we'll have to stop and maybe put an old chain in or call it quits. I don't know.
The other thing too, I noticed when we fill the cart completely full, it pulls harder. Like you can feel it's back there even more so. So if we don't fill the cart as much, that'll take a little less stress off the chain. But I think our only option is we got to take 2 links out of this one, like we did on the other chain. You can see right here.
It was a little too long. I ordered it longer on purpose. Just to make sure we had enough lane.
This chain is 2 links shorter than our other chain and other bud.
Yeah.
So we'll take 2 links out of that one. We'll put that one back in. We got new oil. We're going to wash out the chain case, make sure it's clean, and I think that's the best option right now.
And as it turns out, I shouldn't have aired the tires down on the tractor. We should have let them slip.
I think that's what we'll do too, is air up the tires.
We could air them back up again a little bit. So
just have the slippage, so we're not putting any more strain on that chain. Because
obviously, we could run it in a lower gear too.
Right.
We can, instead of going 5.5 miles an hour, I could go 3.5 to 4, and that would probably put a little less strain on that. Though technically, the higher the chain spins, the less torque that's on it. But there's also more torque applied because you're having to pull faster, so it's harder to work the tractor to pull that much faster. So
I think there's going to be I don't know.
Okay. All right.
We made the decision. I think we're just going to put this new, not so great chain in the bud because these are old steel, probably better, but they're pretty wore out and they're breaking pins. So, all right, let's just get through the season and hopefully we don't damage more things by letting this thing grenade inside. But we're gonna watch it. We know a little bit more. We never would have thought that it would crater that fast. All right, well now we know. Okay, next step is I pulled out as many metal pieces as I could. I tried to reach in there, but obviously my arms are too fat and chubby and they don't bend around the back side of that bottom gear to find if there's any pieces on the back. But we did get a lot of pieces and parts and things out of there. So rinse that out really, really good, and then we'll blow air. Okay. You missed a spot. There we go. Got it. Thanks. All right. He's going to just keep washing it. I wanted to look at this other chain that snapped. Now, the question I want to know is what was the cause of failure? Was it the links that were snapping and then it was riding on the pins and then the pins couldn't take it and snap? Or was it the pins that snapped and then the links were taking the brunt going from it? Obviously over here we had a pin that snapped and none of those links were broke on the old chains. So you got snapped. Okay, there's a broken one. There's a broken one. There's a broken one. That pin is all still connected. There's a broken one. That one's missing a whole chunk. That pin snapped. That's pin snapped. That pin snapped. There's a pin missing on that one. That's broken. That's broken. I think it's a combination of pins and links. They're just no good. So which way did you want to try to do this then?
I guess over the top. Let's do it for the top.
Wait. Pull it over the top or?
No, go around and then pull
it.
Yeah, do like you were saying. Pull up the backside. We'll try that.
Okay. Came undone. We're gonna have to strap it to that hook. There we go.
Is this on the top of the rocket? It's kind of on the side.
Okay. You get it in?
I barely got it. You should probably get that out of the way. So don't cut yourself.
Oh. Is it going in?
Yep. Get as far as I can go. Okay, I think we got the chain in. Use those little roll pins to hold the, I forgot all the terminology. I'm really bad at terminology. Let's just call it the key pin that holds it together, or keeper, whatever I call it. So they're little roll pins that you got to put through the sides of it that locks in so it can't come out. So we just got those in. He's just widening the roll pin just a little bit so they don't come out. We're going to do the tension a little differently on this chain. I think we're going to keep it a little bit looser than we did previously. It is going to loosen up just from use, but then we'll have to retension it. But we might have had it a hair tight on the first time we ran it, so we'll try to see if that was an issue or not. But brand new chain, and I think these threads that got messed up here are gonna be fine. Tension doesn't come out that far. It's just this did get bent a little bit when that chain slapped around in there, and so getting that to line up with the lock that holds those from unscrewing, yeah, that'll be fun too. So, all right, well, I'd say that's on the loose side, but we will we'll tension this up. Okay, let's run this out a little bit, get it, see how it's moving. Yeah, she got bent. We might be able to bend it back in here. The tension on these, we got to keep it even. And I worked really hard last time to get them even, but I got to do a lot of measuring here and make sure we're exactly the same tension on either side of these so we're not pulling it sideways a little bit, because that can cause wear to happen a little bit too much on one side. So I think we're good. Don't have oil in it yet, but we are going to straighten it out. I'm going to back it up a little bit and then pull it forward to try to get the positive tension set on the chain, and then I'll reset the chain tension again, really fine tune it to make sure it's perfect, and then we'll add oil, put the cover on, and send it. Yeah, just crank this thing. It's a little dirty. Come on, buddy. There we go. Got a do not shift code. I think that's because the transmission was just freewheeling earlier. We were doing this, so I might have to reset that. I got the code reader. I'll check it. Putting this against the chain. Not push on it all. We'll mark a spot. Okay, now let's push it in. Remark. Okay, check the other side. Now it's kind of hard to get that. There's a bolt right there. Yeah, about right there. On this side. All right, as of now, we are right at about an inch. So it's an inch deflection one way, so it's probably a little loose still. Let's do 2 turns. 2. We're ready to roll. Fun watching this thing. I'm not used to all those spinny thingies down there. The typical hoe drill, we don't have all that activity. That's pretty fun to watch. The disc initially cuts the swath, I guess you could say. That wheel that's rubbing alongside the disc is just a cleaner that cleans the disc. On the other side of that disc is a hoe that scrapes the side of nice flat leads that the seat is laid in. And then the wheel in the back here closes and lightly tampers and packs the ground, as like we like to call the press wheel. And it does the fertilizer and the seed trench evenly. But what's even cooler is watching this thing flex. That front hitch, that whole part right there, it just sits there and rocks back and forth like this. It's going down the field. It's quite amazing, all the different flexing points on this. It's pretty cool. much closer, you can see a little bit of wheel slip.
Front ones especially, you can see them.
See how slow those axles are turning? That's crazy. I mean, literally just like this fast. That's how fast the center axle's turning. You can see why those bearings last a long time. And then hardly rotate, just wait on it. But the tire looks like it's turning fast, it's gigantic. Way cool. So happy to see that thing going again. Good. All right. Let's just pray that that chain makes it the rest of the season. We'll keep checking it. And then I think we have an alternative lined up. I've mentioned that before, but gotta make some phone calls, but it might be a lot better setup for what we need. So hopefully that works out and we'll put an order in and get one. Got to mention too, got the hour meter working, got the cab pressurized fan working. Turns out both of those were just unplugged. Funny how that works. And the boost gauge, there was a pin that was short, so we fixed that. Pulled it out with the Deutz connector. Now it's making contact. That works even better. And then the EGT gauge, found that one. Under the cab, there was two wires touching. The way it wasn't our fault. It was just the way that main harness coming off of the sender, for whatever reason, the way the insulation was on it, they didn't do a very good job. It was like a fiber insulation, and it pulled back a little bit, and the two leads were grounding out, shorted out, open short. So fixed that. Guess what? EGTs. So he says it's running about 850 right now at 1900 RPM. So that's not bad. 850 degrees Fahrenheit. It's about right.
As you guys. I don't know how I managed to get back in the tractor after I broke it. I figured for sure that Nick would be like, we're gonna shun you, discipline you. You can stay in the shop and work and fixing something, clean the shop. You don't get to drive a tractor because you broke it. But actually, he kind of like brought me out here and put me back on the tractor, and he said, okay, hopefully it runs. And Nick figured out the EGT wiring. There was a spot underneath the cab where the connector connects into the harness, and he pulled the connector off and he started looking at it, and it wasn't anything I did, it wasn't anything that he did. Whoever stripped the wires from the EGT sensor to that connector didn't do a very good job, and two of the wires were touching each other, and it was just grounding itself out, and that's why we didn't have an EGT. So now I have an EGT. So we're running about 850 degrees, roughly, at 1900 RPM, which is pretty good, actually. It's not bad. There you go. Now the question is, how long will this chain last? I hope it lasts long enough to get us through the season, and then we got to figure something out. I think we got a couple ideas. We'll make some phone calls, a few things, and go from there. So, anyways, all right. Well, I'm gonna get back to seat and like, sit here in the seat and think about what I did. I've got one of those, not a Ponzi. It's one of those people that follow you with cameras. Except I know him. Yeah, well, the other bud's running, so they got it fixed. That's cool that something that major can be fixed in a short time. Yep. These are fixable. They're component tractors, so you could get parts. The part that went down was one that we had an extra part for, and so it will get her through this seeding. So we're putting down the acres, putting down the seed, putting down a little fertilizer. Okay, well, I usually don't think about bringing the camera. I get this all set up and started, and then I go, hey, you guys probably want to come along.
So, all right. Well, I'm the top of my world right now. Okay, so let me get this started again. We're on gate 2, right there. A little bit of history. This is way different than it used to be. Many years ago when I started, we had what they called box drills. They held about, at that time, I think it was 3/4 of a bushel a foot. And I remember 40 feet at one time we had. There was 5 8-footers, and I gotta just push the button there. And the only way you can fill them is you had a single axle farm truck with 48 or 50-inch sides, and you had a chute. It was a galvanized chute that went from the truck down to the box drill, and you shoveled it by hand. The top of the truck was always nice, always great when we had a full load. Well, when you get down to the bottom of the truck and you've got to bend down and get a shovel, carry it over, dump it into the chute. There's chains that hold the box together. Usually unhooked them. But then the wind was blowing and chaff all over in there. It was miserable, but we didn't know any different. Then I got graduated. Eventually we had 56 feet of drill, and we got an auger that we mounted on the back of the truck. So you lifted the truck up, and then you could auger it in there and then just drive the truck along this 56 feet. And that was awesome. And that's about when we started really fertilizing. So we had another truck with another auger, and I thought I would reach the pinnacle. So that was great until we finally got an air drill with one tank, and that was just tremendous. That you could put it all in one sitting without moving the drill, fill the tank on the cart. That was awesome. And now we've graduated from 230 bushels, so this one's 555. And the other one we're trying demoing is 800 bushels in the cart. So, what a change. But now, we don't have a truck, 2 trucks we have to haul around and get in position and raise the box up and open the end gate and then go back around and open up some more, because you couldn't lift the truck all the way up or it'd tip over, the box would tip over, or the grain would all roll out, or fertilizer. And so now you got it all in one truck, 2 compartments of seed and 2 compartments of fertilizer. We are rolling and rolling, getting some seed in the ground. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's some lights on the cart. They're pretty. They're on. It's dusty though. My goodness, it's dusty. But we're moving right along. And so far the tractor's running pretty decent. No weird crazy sounds like a chain breaking in the chain case yet. I hope that doesn't happen. Yeah. Making progress, that's all that matters. Now, granted, I'm not going to go late into the night because bad things happen when you go in dark. At least with old school tractors like this, because there's a lot of unknowns. You just never know what might happen. So when it starts getting dark out, I'll just call it and then get up in the morning and get going again. But overall, my EGTs are about, when I say EGTs, for those that don't know, that's my exhaust temperature. It's running about 850 degrees roughly, which is not bad. My engine temperature for coolant is about 180 degrees. My engine oil pressure is about 58 psi.
I'm running about 16 pounds of boost, not hardly working. My front differential is about 145 degrees. My back axle is about 140 degrees. They're pretty close. My chain case is 110, which is not bad. My transmission is about 170 degrees, which is not bad. Pressure's good in the transmission. Hydraulic temperature, we're sitting about 120 degrees. So yeah, things are running like a champ. And AC's working in the cab. We're good. Ew, that was dirty. Not a good idea.